Hey guys, this is Tom Sullivan here with Real Talk Investing, and today I want to take you through a walkthrough of my most recent flip property, and I want to show you it in the condition when I first got it. Now, at this time, we already did some of the exterior work and doing some of the landscaping just to make sure that we mitigated the water away from the property, but I do want to show you the inside of this place just to show you what a flip can sometimes entail. So to take you through the first room, the living room here, floors are in pretty bad shape along with the walls, and the windows themselves were also going to have to get torn out. Now, besides that, there wasn't too much to do with that room, maybe work on the lighting a little bit, but the big area where we were going to put our focus was the kitchen. So in this kitchen here, as you could see, the whole entire cabinet setup, the countertop setup, all of that was to be ripped out. And that's what we did. We marked them with the red X's just so when the demo team came in, they knew that those were the areas that have to be ripped out. Now, with that, we were going to put in new appliances, new countertops, new cabinets, new walls, new lighting, and then try to clean up the floor because the tiles themselves were still in very good shape. However, if there was damage to them and they weren't salvageable, we would go over and replace them. Now, throughout the house, as you can see, there's a lot of debris laying around, a lot of garbage, and this right here being the first bedroom was not much better. So walls were painted purple with lime green colored window trim, and all of that was to be ripped out along with the built-in TV in the closet. All those areas are going to be ripped on out with new flooring put in, as well as the new sheetrock and paint. Now the bathroom here was actually in okay condition comparing it to the rest of the property, with the big thing that needed focus being the tub and the toilet that you see right there. Toilet was going to be ripped out and completely replaced. The tub, if we're able to save it through cleaning, we may keep it there. More than likely may have to replace that as well. Now, going over to the staircase and to the bedroom on the left-hand side, it was pretty funny going into that room because as you can see on the floor, there is actually flooring. There is what looks like laminate flooring. So somebody was here at some point trying to work on a rehab or trying to fix up the property, and it looks like they got a whole 4 pieces in before they tapped out and said they had enough. So things like that are pretty funny to see and also good for us because that shows that someone tried to do it, realized it wasn't worth their time or that they couldn't do it, and then they bailed. So we were able to get the property for a much better price. Now this is just one more view of the kitchen before we head up the stairs. And with the stairs, it was a pretty interesting setup they had there. Now on the backs and tops of the stairs, they actually put down some of those stick-down tiles. And that's why you see some of those squares across it and actually a piece laying at the bottom. So I don't know what the thought process was there. Maybe it did look good, but it certainly does not look that good right now. And that's where we're going to have to go through and redo those stairs completely. Now up the stairs, next to a couple of those trophies there was what we're going to create as a study. So like a nice little lounge area, maybe set up a desk, some built-in shelves, put a chair, and that's all right outside of the big bedroom that is up the stairs here. So over here as well, we're going to do ripping up of the floor, get rid of the carpeting that's in that area, and then help redesign some of this space here as we have a couple of closets on the left-hand side there, and then on the right-hand side there being a half bath that certainly needed some work. Now, it's hard to see it because the lights in that room did not work, but all it is a toilet and a sink. And we wanted to open up that area, make it a little bit bigger, so there's more room to actually get some use out of that bathroom. And that would then lead over into this room, which would be the main bedroom of the house. Now, in this room, they had a black rug and blue walls, all of which is going to be ripped out and replaced and start fresh. But aside from that, this was a big space that we could certainly take advantage of to make this a very nice room in the house. And as you can see out this window here, they have a nice piece of land outside with good yard space, nice green land, and it sits on about a half acre. So that's something that we want to make sure we can get this house up to a level that fits the neighborhood, as you can see from that great view out there. Now back in on this property, there was from the ceiling, it looked like some of the insulation got ripped out and was starting to fall down. So that's something we're going to have to rip out, replace, and then finish. Along with, as you see with the staircase and the handrail, we wanted to get rid of this blue wooden handrail and replace it with something nicer that will match a more modern look. Now outside here, you can see one of our trailers that are filled up to the brim, and this was probably about the 7th or 8th one we filled up so far, not even touching any of the demo work. This was just stuff inside. Now we'll go downstairs, pass on SpongeBob's house there that they have painted on the wall, and head back down just so you can get one more last look at the kitchen before we go to the basement and then head outside. So the kitchen, as you can see, tiles don't look too bad besides for the buildup and grime. And all of these walls here and all of this cabinetry will be ripped on out before we finish this project. And this door right here leads to not only outside, but also the basement. So down in the basement, as we are authorized personnel to go down there, you could take a look and just see that the floors and tiles themselves are in pretty good shape with the exception of that one spot that's broken. And besides that, the area was just damp as a whole. So what we did is we came down, squeegeed everything up, cleaned up all the water that was on the floor, and then set up dehumidifiers to help drain the water and then pump it out of the basement so we can get that extremely dry. Now in this back corner, we will be putting in a new washer and dryer after we finish this part of the basement, just to make that a nice homey space, as it adds a lot of square footage to the house and can be a great space if it's done right. Now back up these stairs over here, we'll head outside just so you can see some of the work that has already been done. So the landscaping, as I said, was very rough in this house. There was water that was overflowing onto the property, causing lots of grass to grow up, lots of weeds to grow up. And in fact, a lot of what you're going to see out here was covered in about 5 or 6 inches of dirt. And as we were out there doing some of the cleaning, we found that there was this concrete patio space right outside. And after scraping off all of the dirt, we found out it's actually a pretty nice setup they had at one point, which hasn't been shown in years. Now, right out here, you see the garage with a patio space right to the right side there. And it's a very nice patio space that, honestly, it was buried. We had no idea it was there. So it was one of the wins of this flip project. Every once in a while, you find something that you certainly would not expect to be out there. And now this saves us from having to put in an entire new patio area. So it saves us a couple $1,000s in this project. Now, looking at the back of the house, with it being the yellow color, we are changing that to gray. We're going to leave that brick that is showing just as it matches the roof, and will match the mulch once we get that set up. But all the windows will have to be ripped out and replaced, along with over in the garage doing some repainting, and the shed where we're going to rip out that garage door and then put in barn doors just to fit the theme a little bit more. Now, as we walk out over here, back to those trees that you see in the distance is approximately where the property goes to. So it sits on about a ½ acre of land and is definitely a very good size space in this area, around the same size as most of the properties. So what we need to do is just improve the actual look of the house to get it up to the same value of the other houses in this area. And by doing so, we'll be able to turn a good profit on this property. Now, looking at the outside over here in the front, we did already install a French drain. Now, this drain was put in to stop any water that was coming to the property from getting into the property anymore, as we were trying to make sure the basement got dried along with any other parts that could have been affected. Now, outside here on this house, what we were doing is we are leaving the roof because the roof's in good shape. The paint is going to be gray, as I said. We're putting on new shutters on the house as well, so those are getting ripped off. Windows will be replaced. At the front, the 2 posts will also be replaced. They've already been taken down. And we are looking to put a driveway in place where you see it. So right here, once again, this is a view of the house prior to any of that work taking place. So I hope you got a good idea of what this property looks like and what type of work we're going to be putting into it as we go forward. Now, as always, if you have any questions about why am I doing this and how am I doing this and how do I know this is a good deal, please feel free to leave a message in the comments section. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and felt like you've learned stuff from this video and want to know more about real estate, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And that way I can continue to provide you with these videos and give you more knowledge about real estate. So as always, thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.